Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Lorenzo Murphy, also known as Owner Motivator from Compton, California. I'm a recent Morehouse graduate.
My name is Kai Harris, senior C-Tennis major from Killeen, Texas.
Okay. This is a question popcorn for anybody who wants it. I'll start with Kai. Killeen, Texas. What is that? Where is that?
I don't know where.
Yeah.
But Killeen, Texas, really, we're really known for our Army base, Fort Hood. It's one of the biggest Army bases in the United States of America. So outside of that, it's just real country.
Kind of conversation I'm having with you. I'm gonna say I'm from Compton, California. If you're from LA, you know what I'm saying, it gets more specific. I'm from Wilmington and Laundry, and if it's a real question, then it's you say in the neighborhood that you're from. But I mean, with how it is, you grow up in that environment, like you're all associated to that one area. So
Compton.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's overall just Compton.
Okay.
It's Disneyland.
Disneyland.
I went to Compton High. Yeah, I went to Vermont Bay and then I went to Compton High.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So you say your stage name was Owner Motivator.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So speak a little bit about your stage name, Owner Motivator. What you do, what arts are you a part of? What you're interested in?
I think I'm interested in overall production, overall arts, film, television, music, everything. Really everything regarding arts I'm into. But primarily my focus is music, television, and film.
Okay, is that like something you got into like at Morehouse, pre-Morehouse?
Well, it was really pre-Morehouse. So music, I always found myself doing something musically. It was always around me. I would say TV, that's something I'm getting into.
Mm-hmm.
But film is something I got into. I learned more about when I was in high school. I took a film and television class, and that was my introduction.
Okay. And
then it just started growing from there.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I feel like those classes they're not always like the mandatory or biggest advertised classes. But those key things, like a lot of people know, I took like a TV production class in high school, and I was like the line producer as well as the anchor.
Right.
I was also the newspaper editor for the school.
Right.
And like those are like extracurricular activities, but it kind of cultivates, what you're interested in and kind of nurtures like that idea. Though it's at a young age, some people never go to college, never get a chance to like experience that experimenting. And other people get a chance to like go to college and major in something different, so don't get a chance to like.
With where I am now, though, I never thought that I'd do it. I mean, for me, it's always been a hobby to me.
Right.
And then as I took hobby serious, then it manifested into something else. So, I didn't know I would be Owner Motivator. I didn't know I would like music. I didn't know I would be a filmmaker or be into TV, but that's how it happened.
So you guys both have like same ages, like cinnamon. Okay. So like, and this can go to you, Kai. What did like pretty much the same question? Were it always like I knew I was going to go to college to do this? I knew I was going to be this major. I know Morehouse has a new major, but I knew you want to get into like television and media. Is that like pre-college? Is that high school? Is that like something like this?
It was middle school for me.
Okay.
I had military parents, so they would deploy a lot. So me missing that parent is like, okay, how do I express myself? Because my parents is not here. You know what I'm saying? So I started acting out, getting into trouble in school, and I found myself in ISS. This was when I was in sixth grade.
In school suspension.
In school suspension.
For the people that don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, in school suspension used to be lit, man. Okay. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was just like the world became quiet to me because in ISS you can't talk, everything is silent.
Yeah,
so now you got to sit there and do your work. So I just started writing rhymes, you know what I'm saying? And then it just became a thing. Then my dad got a hold of him. He threw over the trash. He said, "Hey son, why you doing this? This ain't going. This ain't what we doing." So he ended up throwing them in the trash. But it was something that was a stress reliever for me. So I just wanted to get tapped into it. And then my senior year in high school was when I recorded my first song. Okay. So yeah, it was the old setup in the closet. You know what I'm saying?
What was the name of the song?
Oh man.
and can we still find it anywhere?
Yeah, you can still find it on YouTube, but it's called Let 'Em Know. It was me and my homie Trey. We started a group called Juice Crew. So it was some cheesy stuff, but you know what I'm saying. To us, it meant everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he was living in Virginia at the time. I'm in Texas, so we would record songs, send them back to each other, and everything like that. So yeah, so that's how.
That's cool. That's cool. It's funny because. We could probably edit this out later, but I did have my, I feel like everybody got time when they try to find their voice, they write their little rhymes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was more like, I actually wrote poetry for like a long period of time, so like 6th grade. Yeah. Like, I think probably to like.
Know the poet.
Yeah, look, man, it used to go crazy, man. I even tell myself, I've actually performed like, out in public, but I would never do it like an agency and stuff like that. So like, and I also used to act in high school. So I acted in high school. I had a scholarship to go act, post high school. Yeah. And so me coming to college, I never wanted somebody to think of me as a lesbian. Because I know once you get that like label, it's real hard to try to shit, because that's what they want to try to pinpoint you at. So, me writing poetry, me acting a little bit, and me having those interests, I kind of like suppressed a little bit because I'm also doing stuff on the political front. And it was just like, how does all these things match and mesh? And I had to find a way like, that I didn't put myself in that box. I was also playing football in high school, and I'm saying, all those things, to some people it was like, okay, you do this, you do that, you do it. It didn't make up one guy, and that's kind of like when I decided to choose Morehouse. I'm like, at Morehouse you can do everything. Like, you can literally be all that. I mean, because
Morehouse sometimes places you in a box. Like, if you're not with this group, then people are like, oh, well, you got to get permission. It's to me, my experience, it's more of a subconscious thing, a subconscious culture where it's like, you got to get permission from certain people to do certain things. Okay. So it's like, whereas when I got to Morehouse, I was 21 when I got to Morehouse, so my mindset was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, exactly. So I'm looking at it as like, I'm going to be me. I'm not going to try to fit in a mold. You see what I'm saying? So I made sure I didn't ask people's opinion about things so much. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm going to do me, and that's that. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I feel like what I observed was a lot of people were trying to, I guess you can make it seem like they were trying to find themselves. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I mean, the freshman year,
exactly. So I just felt like what I would tell myself coming to Morehouse as a sophomore, it's like, hey, I found myself getting caught up in certain things, like trying to fit into certain crowds and everything like that to a degree. Like, okay, I need to do this so this person will mess with me. But at the end of the day, it's like, just be yourself, and people will come to you. You know what I'm saying? You attract who you need to attract in your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I would tell myself as an incoming sophomore, freshman year. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel.
So do you feel like the same way, like, when you got into Morehouse, in some ways they either try to put you in a box or hold you to the single narrative, or like that your artistry maybe in a way, like, not to say it's restricted, because I know you do like a lot of like the motivational speaking and stuff like that, and like I know recently you've been doing the film thing as well as the music thing, creating like your own track. So like, do you feel at any point in time that like the evolution from like, okay, I'm speaking here, I'm speaking in this, not third, to like, now I'm a full-on artist, you gotta respect me, but I'm a full-on producer or
I'm pretty rebellious, and I kind of do what I want to do.
right.
And that's not even to be like overbearing or anything, but like for me, I just always follow my heart, and I always try to move from my heart. So with the motivational thing, like I told y'all, I didn't know it become that. Like I was at a point in my journey where I was depressed because I didn't get accepted to Morehouse. I was going hard in basketball, didn't get a scholarship in basketball, didn't know what I was going to do. I was losing friends to the streets. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was next. So I remember telling my mom, like, she was telling me, what you going to do? I got accepted to one college. She was like, what you going to do? I'm going to kill myself. I told her that. Like, I was so stressed out. And the way, like, I started, like, to find therapy was in helping others and to give back. So during that time also, you know, Instagram allowed you to post these 15-second videos.
Right.
So I would write how I felt, and I would say it for 15 seconds. Those messages started going viral. That happened. Started doing community events. And then the title Zoda Motivator. Somebody was like, "Dang, you the Zoda Motivator." I'm a rock with that.
Right.
So then, boom, I put my hashtag, my name on that on Instagram like that. That started going viral. Got discovered, and then boom, it just turned into that.
Right.
And then eventually, like I said, the doors opened in different areas. So, like I've always been one. I trust the process. So like, it built organically. And back to your question. What was your question again?
As far as like artistry and ever feel like you've been put in a box.
Oh yeah, no. I never felt like I was being put in a box because I think it all happened organically. I felt people have always tried to put me in a box, but I don't really focus on what people think or say. If anything, my community encouraged it. Like my homies would tell me, "Bro, I had a dream you was gonna be on TV, or you was gonna do this and that, or you was gonna," you know, they spoke life into me, so they supported my visions. Even when I didn't believe in it. Morehouse, I got here and I actually tried to like lower myself a lot more because I felt not only that it was competitive because you got everybody coming from their area and they really who they are. They gifted. You feel like it becomes competitive.
Right.
I'm like, dang, I ain't good enough. But also I didn't get a chance to relabel myself because I came in the light of the media. Like, you guys know my situation.
Yeah.
That happened. I didn't get a chance to introduce myself, so I kind of had to.
You already came in with this. People already came in with this. Who you are,
right?
What you do, and also, I mean, you spoke to something real key, and like, I mean, I feel like both of y'all can speak to like I feel like a lot of people know how to speak to like even imposter syndrome, like having that thing where like having to recognize whether you belong. And you know what I'm saying?
And that was the hardest thing for me, bro, because I was really who I said I was. All my experiences was really my experiences.
Yeah.
And I was looking at people's life, and I'm like comparing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all not really who y'all say y'all are. Like,
yeah.
And it started to really bother me. So it became a very depressing journey for me. College was very, I think up until my last year, it was tough because I couldn't necessarily really be truly who I was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
One thing about Zoe gonna let you know how he feel. He ain't gonna hold nothing back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he'll stand up. You know what I'm saying? And we've taken classes together, and like we've had certain professors where they would try to bully us, and Zoe be like, "No, this is not that. I'm gonna stand up. If nobody else gonna stand up, I'm gonna stand up." And you know, people laughed at him and everything like that, but he stood true to what he believed in and what he was standing for. So for me, seeing that, I'm like, wow, like he steadfast in what he believes in and what he's talking about. And to speak on the point about lowering yourself when you get to college, where I'm from is very integrated. You know what I'm saying? Military town, so you got everybody.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
You got a little bit of mix of everything.
You know what I'm saying? I went to a 5A high school. You see what I'm saying? So it's just
you got like 3,000.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So coming to Atlanta, one, where the population is mostly African Americans, and then two, going to a HBCU, it was a culture shock for me because I'm like, wait a minute, this is not what I'm used to, and everybody was on their square. They on point. You know what I'm saying? From just from first glance. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, they're speaking so well. Like
Black excellence on
like, you know what I'm saying? And I never saw that. You saw what I'm saying? So it's like, dang, I felt like I didn't belong. I'm like, am I good enough to be here? Like, and like Zoe was saying, I dumbed myself down. And Zoe has told me most times, he's like, bruh, speak up. Like, say how you feel. Like, and so yeah, I was like, dang, am I good enough? Like, I want to do this rap thing. I want to do music. I want to be creative, but it's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then it hit for me my junior year. I had went home, and I was like, you know what? I'm really going to explore what it is I want to explore, and I'm just gonna be myself unapologetically. I'm gonna drop these videos. I'm gonna make this content. I'm gonna do it. I got to
put the content up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because when I first got here, I was just the guy with the camera. Like, oh man, bring your GoPro out. Like, bro, can we cuss?
I mean, everything can get edited out, but yeah.
Okay, well but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, F that.
Yeah.
I'm putting this GoPro down.
If that works.
You know what I'm saying? I'm putting it down, and I'm about to show y'all what I can do. Now, whether you believe in what I got going on, that's fine. Or if you don't support it, that's cool. But at the end of the day, I have to express myself. So, a caveat to that: Morehouse did allow me to be myself in a way, because it's like it was instilling that confidence. So I'm like, okay, cool. Here's the con to it, but here's the pro. So now I'm going to be myself. I'm going to put myself out there, and that's that. So, Morehouse saved my life in so many ways as well. But
I think when you're real, people will see it. When you're real, we keep it like.
Yeah, you can swing the joint.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you good. I think when you're real, people will see it before you say it. So
yeah,
like I just realized, man. Like the Kai said, just I had to be myself. You know, I locked in. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna really become this automotivated thing. I guess whatever people see. I'm not saying I was insecure, but I just didn't understand, bro, because it happened so fast, literally, bro. Like, yeah, it happened, and then boom, like you around all these people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You like, okay, like me, I'm not gonna turn nothing down. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna become that. Yeah, and I learned from a lot of people too. I learned my weaknesses. I learned my strengths here. I feel like Morehouse, like, and just being in this environment, Morehouse, Atlanta, being in this environment prepared me for what I was becoming. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love, because growing up in Compton, I was the only one. Or Kendrick was I'm not saying I'm Kendrick or nothing, but like, you got a few chosen ones in the city. And like, when people look at you like that in that light, like, it's a lot of pressure, but like, you know, pressure could bite. Like, you hear this quote a lot, and I feel like it really helped me become who I was destined to be.
Yeah, Atlanta, like, coming from a small town, like, Atlanta really showed me that you gotta hustle. Like, like when I go get my hair cut, not only does my barber cut hair, this man has his own clothing line. So it's like everybody.
Yeah, you got multiple hustles. You got muscle streams. You know, avenues of money coming in and other ways of entrepreneurship. Yeah,
exactly. So Atlanta taught me to have a hustle, like, or it brought out my hustle spirit. You know what I'm saying? It was in me. You know what I'm saying? Due to just how my family works hard, but just seeing that, I was like, yo, I have to do something. I can't just come here and not do anything. You know what I'm saying? So when I was at the Art Institute, I knew that I wanted to be in Atlanta. So I was in a history class and at the Art Institute.
You at the Art Institute in
Austin, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the community college before.
No. So here's how it happened. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying, trying to get the background, trying to make sure you get it the right way.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what ended up happening was I had a tough time graduating high school. So I ended up going to a community college to get my high school diploma.
Okay.
Because they had a program where they can help you get your high school diploma. You know
was it also like was it one of the things you can also get associate credits too, or was it just a high school diploma?
It was just a high school diploma. Okay. So they helped me get that because in Texas we have the tax test. So what that is Texas Assessment of Knowledge. So I just sucked at the math part. Math just killed me.
Yeah, math could get you sometimes.
So and I was trying to join the Army. That was what I was going to do. I was going to join the Army because my homie Trey, who I had went business with, he was in the Army, and we both were in tune to the music. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go into the Army. We're going to, we're going to get this bread, and we're going to invest in ourselves musically. So what ended up happening was, because we was going to go through the buddy system. So the Army, what that does is, okay, cool, you guys will be roommates throughout basic training and everything like that. Yeah. But it didn't work that way because, my high school, and I didn't graduate due to the tax test. So he ended up going, and I'm still stuck in Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, everybody was passing me by at this time. Like, everybody was doing things. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that spirit of comparison comes into play. So I'm like, man, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just sitting here. Yeah. So my homie Trey, he sent me because at the time you could write letters. So he sent me a letter, and he was saying, hey, Kai, like, I don't want to do the music thing anymore. Like, I really want to focus on the Army. So I was like, dang, now I'm by myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm crying. I'm just depressed. Like, what am I going to do? So my little brother came downstairs one day, and he was like, hey, Kai, look, I know you into music. So there's this school in Austin called the Art Institute. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm going to go there. So I went there, and I studied audio engineering for about a year, but I wasn't focused. So it was the history class that I was in, and God spoke to me right then and there. He was like, nah, this ain't you. Right. So I got up in the middle of the class, and I just walked out. I said, I can't do this. I called my mom, and I told her, I said, Mom, I can't do this. Like, I gotta leave. Like, this is not, I wasn't living right. You know what I'm saying? Just falling victim to peer pressure and everything like that. So there's this place I used to go and pray at. It's called the Enclave. It's a little apartment, but I used to go on the top of the parking deck and just talk to God. You can see the highway. And I told him, I said, Lord, if you can just get me to Atlanta, that'd be awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my mom went to Clark before she went to the Army.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I'm going to go to Clark. So my dad is from Georgia, so we was going to come visit my family here.
Right.
But she was like, you know what? Since we're going to Georgia, let me call Clark and see if they do campus visits. This was Memorial Day weekend. So
what year is this?
This was, what,
2014?
I would say, because I started 2015. So,
Yeah.
about 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it was 2013, 2014. So, what ended up happening was we called Clark. And they said, we don't do campus visits during the holiday. We don't do campus visits during the holiday. So, we called Morehouse, too. And they said the same thing. But they ended up calling us back and they said, you know what, we'll do the campus visit. So, we came down. A guy named Matthew Minna. He gave me he gave us the tour. We went through the nave.
Shout out, man.
Shout out to Matt.
Yeah.
He gave us a tour, and then right then and there, I knew I needed to be here. But so we went to talk to Mr. Randall. Shout out to Mr. Randall. He said, "Okay, cool. We see that you got these Art Institute credits. They won't transfer. So you got to go back home. You got to go back home. You got to go to a community college, get the credits necessary to transfer, then transfer." So went back home, did what I had to do, and transferred, and the rest has been history. So
that's really it. It really speaks to the perseverance of just what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Or even what God has caused you to do, because that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same token what inspired me to even just do something like the podcast, because people have amazing stories all over the place. You know what I'm saying? People have stories of, jumping over this hurdle and that hurdle and this hurdle and that. Because, realistically right now is, if things went the way that we wanted it to go, you know what I'm saying, you might be in the league and you might be in the military. You know what I mean? That's just our plan. You know what I'm saying? That's the plan that, we have for ourselves. And one of the things I always pray, every single time I pray, even just up to yesterday, I pray, that God doesn't, grant the wishes of my heart, but, grant what he has, planned for me. And just help me understand that in that path, that I have the strength and I have the wisdom that he's given me to know the difference between my wants and what his desires are for me to have. Because sometimes I can literally be selling myself short. You know what I mean? Sometimes I can be, just putting myself in a position that isn't, the best for his glory. And I realized that's a huge thing, because I don't know if y'all know, but I did 5 years of high school, right? So I stayed back 1 year, man, and I had a 0.1 out of my first 2 years of high school, and I ended up graduating with a 2.1 GPA, but I bust a 3.5 3 years straight, and it just averaged out, just 1 and then 3.5. So, I had to do a 5th year of high school, man. I remember just being depressed and sad and mad and angry at the world, and thought I was doing all these great things. At this point, I'm student ambassador. I'm doing everything for the school. I'm president of this club. I'm president of that club. News media is coming up to interview me. About how somehow he turned around and all that. I'm getting, awards. I'm the first person to get this award about biggest turnaround. All this crazy stuff, right? So, but it's still not it's still not filling me up, because I'm thinking, my girl's graduating and my home is graduating, and I'm staying back, and it was just a lot of feelings of being left behind. And then what happened was my 5th year happened, and I started a mentoring program at Barack Obama Elementary. So me doing that, and a couple other things I did my 5th year in high school, like my Brother's Keeper program, because I would have graduated on time, and I didn't even have any offers to go to college at that point in time. So I was graduating on time, and when I had no offers to go to college, I didn't put enough film together on playing football that schools want to recruit me in it, and that was schools that you don't want to go to. I didn't really get into the acting. It was a lot of things that was just kind of formulated that didn't really develop yet. And one of the things that was huge was, like I said, the My Brother's Keeper thing. So I got the My Brother's Keeper program my 5th year in high school. So that whole time, things happened in between that. People don't know I moved out. Everybody's like, "Oh, you living the greatest life." I'm like, well, right before, the summer school year started, I moved out of the crib, so I was working 2 jobs and kind of helping my grandmother, with finances in the house because she hurt herself, you know what I mean? So now she can't really work, and I'm living, I moved out of the crib and I'm living with my homie, trying to make ends meet, and I bought my first car because out of need, not because I just wanted to have a car, because I lived out of my school zone, so if I didn't have a way to back and forth, I wouldn't be able to go to school, and I would, put into question everything. When I went on my first White House meeting for my Brother Keeper program, I technically was homeless. I wasn't living anywhere. I was living on my homeless couch. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody, we in there, everybody like, oh, this is great, this is amazing. I'm like, dude, I got to make sure I still have somewhere to go at the end of the night.
That's exactly where I am right now.
Right.
And as great as things look,
as great as things look, as great as, and I feel like the storytelling piece, the ability for people to share that story, is crazy because you draw strength from that. You feel me? You draw strength from knowing the next brother's story. I'm drawing strength from knowing Kyle's story, from knowing your story, and it's always been like that since I've known y'all. So, it only made sense to put people in a room to empower each other, because we're speaking about things that people don't get a chance to. Like, they only know, when a song breaks. They only know when you dropping content. They only know when you got mass followers or you got this big project coming up, but they don't know that in between stage when it's gritty and you ain't have nobody in your corner, and your finances wasn't good, and you worrying about all these things. Like, I feel like it's pivotal for Black men, for college students, for people with life experiences to share those, because y'all are 2 non-traditional students, and that's just a title. Right. But the non-traditional part of that is like, yo, you've lived a whole life before you even got to college, and some people never can even understand. Like,
people come from privilege too, bro.
And the thing is, like, I forgot what I was about to say, man. It was so good. I forgot what I was about to say.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, because we just engaged in this good conversation. But no, I got it. So just as people who are trying to break into certain areas, what I'm learning is you have to invest in yourself. So I get a monthly stipend from the VA.
Okay.
Both of my parents were in the Army.
Right.
My dad did 26. My mom did 24.
Okay.
So I get a living allowance once a month. So rather than just, I'm gonna go splurge here, I'm gonna go splurge there. It's like, okay, cool. Not even save. It's just like I looked at college like this. All right, I have time. A couple older people told me, like, look, you're gonna have more time in college than you think. So when I got here, I'm realizing you got class at 8 a.m. and you don't have another class till 2. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So with that, there's a lot of time that you can work on your craft. So that's why I'm grateful, and that's why I said when I saved my life, because it allowed me to dig in and chip away at my craft. So what I would do is with that living allowance, okay, cool, studio time is this. All right, cool. I'm gonna take what I'm getting from the government. I'm gonna put it here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I need a video. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put it here. So now people ask, where's your money going? Right. Where's your money going? Right. So it's like I know where it's going, right. But like, for instance, my parents, I'm not seeing what you're doing. They can see it, but they're not. They're like, are you getting a return?
Everybody can see. Not everybody can see your vision, and then also God's vision. So it's kind of like you talking to people that don't really like.
Exactly, and I couldn't fault them. I couldn't fault them for not seeing the way I did. You know what I'm saying? Because they came up like my mom was born 68. You know what I'm saying? I think my dad was born 66. So you know what I mean? Think about those times when it's coming up. You know what I mean? So it's like they didn't have the luxury to really dream like that. Right. So it's like, hey, look, we got to go to work, and you know what I'm saying?
Make a living, make a provide for my family.
Exactly. Yeah. So now I feel like their sacrifices has allowed me to be a dreamer and allowed me to, okay, look, I see where the family is here, but let's shift it a little bit, because there's a group of people who's going to come after me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, let me invest this, but they don't see the return on investment. They just see, oh, this was good, I like it, this is awesome, but you're broke. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, just bear with me. You know what I'm saying? It's going to pay off. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll ask this question, right? And this for either you, what is, when it comes to your dreams, right? Because I'm in this point now, and I mentioned this before, where I'm constantly fighting purpose versus profit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is, like, you have this huge industrial monster that says, you know, you went to Morehouse, you paid $200,000, $48,000 a year. You know, you want to be able to come out and make money. You know, these ideologies. Like, I feel like all three of us kind of got around the whole, you got to be a business major, a bio major, engineer, to do all these things, and trying to find your purpose and dream. I feel like all of us are kind of like walking into that. But what is that process of, like, you know, deciding against, you know, profit and purpose? Because it's very hard when you got sacrifices to still continue to walk into your purpose. You feel me? Like, especially when it comes to a point where profit it may wane.
I would say just really listening to God and being in tune with God, because this is, like, believe it or not, it's what man is saying. Man is saying this is how you come to Morehouse, and this is how you accumulate wealth by being this or doing this. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say just listening to God and tuning everything else out. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, just being in tune with Him. You know what I mean? Just meditating on His Word and just praying every day, because all three of us are taking a road less traveled. You know what I'm saying? But the reward is more bountiful because we're staying true to that path.
Right.
But you know, it's a lot of praying, a lot of crying.
A lot of praying, a lot of crying.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of praying, a lot of crying.
I quite honestly agree. A lot of faith for sure, but as it says in the Bible, you know, faith without works is dead. So aligning yourself with faith, but also working towards what you're praying for, and having the faith to know that God is going to meet you in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I think that's been the biggest thing of my journey, having faith, and I'm only here by faith. You know what I'm saying? It took me 6 years.
Yeah.
It took me 6 years to graduate from college. Don't know how I made it out of Compton. I don't know how I made it through school. I'm horrible in school, bro. Like, literally. But I made it through. And now I'm in a new journey. I feel like in each journey there's a different purpose. So, like, right now, just my own testimony. Graduated from school, you guys, you know. Didn't want to go back to Compton. Didn't know where I was going to live. You know, a lot of people that had promised me things, and a lot of people that had told me they was going to help me, left me on scene, didn't respond to me. But that's life. And I didn't know where I was going to live. And God is a provider. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I got an opportunity to live with a mentor. You know, and that happened. And then, I mean, you know, just the working aspects of money. You know, you got to do what you don't want to do sometimes in order to do what you want to do. You know, so like me, when I got out of school, I didn't get a job. I had to go deliver food, bro. And then I got an opportunity to work at Tyler Perry Studios. But if you know about production, you only film so much. You know what I'm saying? Films only last so long. And with Hollywood, it take 1 to 2 months for them to shoot a film. With Tyler Perry, we shoot a film in 5 days. Yeah. So imagine out of that 5 days, I'm working, but that whole rest of the months, I'm not working. So now I got to get a job. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to eat. And people don't necessarily care how you eat. The world don't really care about you. Sally Mae don't care. You went to Morehouse and you can't afford this. Yeah. So you got to figure it out. Got a job at the grocery store. Yeah. And it's just life, bro. Like, anything worth having is worth working for. Anything worth having is worth, like going. You have to go through it to get to it. Like, and this is all like stuff we hear all the time. But like once you actually have to live through it, so like bridging that gap between what's the purpose and profit. Yeah. Like, profit is gonna come. God's gonna always provide. You know what I'm saying? Always. Yeah. And it's not gonna always be monetarily. We always think success and you know, stuff. We always think things come. Like, we always think these things attached to money. It's not always financial. It could just be, thank you, God. I've been thirsty all day, bro. Thank you for this water. Right. I've been depressed today. Maybe Kai said something. Not maybe. Kai said something that helped me in my moment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just stuff. I'm starting to like, profit for me is, God, thank you for the small stuff. Man, I got food to eat. Shoot, my mama alive. She healthy. My family good. Like, that's the stuff that's profit to me. Right. And whatever else comes along, financially or whatever, is a blessing. Right. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because I sat over there. I sat down the other day and I kind of like was writing to myself a little bit, right? And I was thinking, like, you know, I started thinking what failure is. Right. I started trying to define failure. Like, what does that look like? Because I got into a moment when I felt like I failed, and And for me, being synonymous with, failure or lack of potential for so long in my life early on, and then probably for, I'd say, the last 5 or 6 years, that's just haven't been even close to what everything just been up and up, succeeding, killing the game, not just succeeding, other people's expectations of my own.
Right.
When I felt like recently I failed, I was just like,
Right.
I was really trying to grasp the idea of that. Then I went to writing, so I said, what is failure? And I looked, I'm like, not accomplishing your goals. And I'm like, what is your goals? And I started thinking a little bit more, what is my goals? I'm like, okay, why is this your goals? And I started digging a little bit deeper. I'm like,
You gotta find your why.
Right. Yo, why? And I looked, I'm like, okay, my mom's safe. My family's happy. My family's cool. I'm doing what I said. I'm in school. My circle's okay. My mental health is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a big thing to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a situation where I'm wanting or needing for anything. And I had to do an analysis myself. I don't have any wants or needs right now. God has brought me to this point, and then I realized, I'm like, who and how did I fail? Because I didn't fail, I feel like I didn't fail God, and I feel like I didn't fail maybe like a specific product. Like, in what way did I fail? Did I not just, subscribe to what everybody else wanted me to do, and that's that feeling of failing? Or, so I really had to break that down in my head. So it's kind of like one of them things like dancing in a storm. Like, it's kind of bad right now, but when you think about in the grand scheme, like, step back, like, what did it change your overarching goal? Did it change the end result? Did it change who you are as a person? Like, and we was talking as we were walking and talking about, don't let the world impact your spirit, because your spirit is not of the world. You know what I'm saying? You can share your spirit with the world, but that your spirit doesn't belong to the world. So you can't let worldly things impact who you are internally.
Yeah. To that, like, that whole confidence and self-esteem thing, like, for the longest, like, and so I'll tell you, like, I'll apologize for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he'll be on set, he'll be like, bro, you don't gotta apologize, bro. If this is what you want, say that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was just me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, be humble, be humble, be humble. But at some point, like, it's okay to be humble, but be confident, be assertive in what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because I always thought that if you were confident, then you were arrogant, you were cocky. But no, it's like you should be confident because God gave you this purpose. Mm-hmm. So walking that purpose, you're doing him a disservice if you're not confident in what he gave you. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna walk with my head down like, oh yeah, I make music. No, like, I'm an artist. This is what I do. So
Maze talked about that. Like, if you don't do what God has called you to do, then that thing will never be done. Exactly. Like, if you don't walk and accomplish that goal that God put you on earth to do, then it just go unaccomplished.
And here's the thing, but in that, he's still merciful. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, just having conversations with, for instance, my mom. She said she wanted to act.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
that's dope.
You feel me?
That's
but
dope.
She ended up going to the Army. She felt like it wouldn't bring anything to her life. You know what I'm saying? Due to outside people saying, no, you should do something more secure. Yeah. So now what I'm realizing is, in the conversation that we'll have is, I tell her, I was like, Mom, this is what God called me to do. Mm-hmm. This is what he called me. I feel it. Like, there's a joy that I get when I do this that can't be explained.
Yeah, it's different.
You know what I'm saying? You know that you're doing something right. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? And she would say, well, God, look, God brought me here. He put me here. He put me here. Yeah, he put you here because he's merciful. But had you followed that inkling in your heart to be an actress, guess what? Who knows where you would be? But he blessed you anyways because that's just what he do. You know what I'm saying? He don't turn his back. But imagine if you would have just followed what was on your heart that he placed on your heart. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But when you explain that to someone, no, God, not like that. But it's like, really, think about it, is when you walk in that purpose, like, the energy change. People around you change. You know what I'm saying? People have no choice but either to get out your way or speak to you or
what's going on.
You know what I'm saying? Because people are going to talk trash regardless. You know what I'm saying? Whether they like you, you know what I'm saying? I had to learn that. Like, my biggest thing is, dang, do people like me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they think of me? But I had to realize, like, you can't think like that because you enslave yourself mentally. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be liberated from those type of thoughts. But Yeah.
Now that's big. So I'm gonna ask y'all this because I feel like we're getting to a point where we're talking about the spiritual and enlightenment aspect, right?
Yeah.
When you kind of have that foresight that other people just can't see and can't put together. When you think about yourself, how old are you now?
25.
25.
24.
24. Okay, that's 22. Let's do this real quick. You think about 15 years ahead right now, right? Yeah, like I'm trying to get that in my head, like 15 years ahead right now. What are people saying? Let me scratch that. Who are you as a man? Who are you as a father? Who are you as a member of your community? And what does your dreams look like in 15 years? And I really want to touch on that community and father piece, because let's just say, within that time frame we have kids, and I had to realize, the older I got, and thinking about what do people in my community say about me? Am I somebody that's just there, and just another person that's living in the neighborhood, or a person that stands up for people, one person that has this this reverence in the community where, like, it's an issue you can go talk to, who do I represent as a man in my community, my family? Because you got the family dynamics where it's so crazy. I know my family dynamic is I have 8 sisters, so like I feel like I'm a part of several different communities, several different families, and I have to always be that man that could intercede to be a helping hand, and not that that take away. So like, how do you see yourself in your community, your family, your dreams, or even fatherhood in the next 15 years, like as 40, 40.
From a community aspect, just an inspiration. I say that to say that whenever I release content, like the amount of people that share it, I'm like, wow. And these are people from my hometown, so it's like, and then they DM me, oh man, what you're doing is inspiring. Mm-hmm. So it's like I always want to be an inspiration. So it's like, hey, if I'm inspiring people back home, then that's what I want to do. I want to be able to uplift the community in a way where they can see different possibilities. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't necessarily mean, I live in a hood or whatever the case may be. Right. It's just I live in a military house where military rhetoric is thrown around, or armed service rhetoric is thrown around. It's like, you know what? Cool. I can go out here and just be who I want to be unapologetically. I don't have to conform to the area and what the area says I have to be. Right. As far as a father is concerned, understanding father, loving father, encouraging father. My dad is in my life, but his dad wasn't in his life. So my dad is a great father, but I see what happens when you don't necessarily have your father in your life, because sometimes my dad can be emotionally detached. You know what I'm saying? So rather than saying I love you, he has ways of showing you know what I'm saying, but it's not there. You know what I'm saying? But I can't blame him because his dad wasn't in his life. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of tough love. Like, I love, you know what I'm saying? So now what I'm
trying to work through that and figure out.
Trying to work through that. So with me and my dad's relationship, it was always drill sergeant and cadet. You know what I'm saying? So that's just facts. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how he felt he had to be a parent, because he didn't know any other way. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandmother on my dad's side, she wasn't, always a good mother. You see what I'm saying? So what I took from that was, okay, cool. When I have children, I want to be as nurturing as my mom is. You see what I'm saying? But still able to assert that, hey, I'm still your dad. You know what I'm saying? But
tough love. So have that balance.
Have that balance. You know what I'm saying? Because I always wanted my dad to say, hey, son, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? He's supportive, but he won't say it. He'll show it. But a lot of the times, just the affirmation, hey, I'm proud of you. I believe in you. You see what I'm saying? But so that's where I see myself in 15 years as a father. Now, my dreams is concerned, I expect to be an A-list artist, pushing culture forward, being innovative. Definitely want to have some ownership, like whether it's a label, whether it's a clothing brand, whatever the case may be. Just
So that's your dream at 40, or like that's your dream to get to 40? Because like when you're 40 and let's say you got that A-list, you know, you got your ownership, you got your, what do you dream about that?
Okay.
What's beyond, I mean, I know it's a crazy thing
Okay.
to think, because if we're speaking into existence, what's going to happen, you know, we got to think about, you know, what's the 30-year goal?
Okay, so if you say it that way, then just making sure that my family is set, you know what I'm saying, that they have no worries, you know what I'm saying, and at that time, my dreams would already be where it's at, you know what I'm saying, so now it's just me having fun with the craft, more time with family, you know what I'm saying, and just teaching the family, like, look, here's how you build something for yourself. See what I'm saying? And invest in what I made into them.
So like generational wealth.
You see what I'm saying? So it might not be music. It might not be making movies or whatever the case may be. They might want to open their own law firm. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, just showing them the power of being who you want to be and owning that, and just giving them the funds to do that. You know what I'm saying? To create a dynasty almost. You know what I mean?
Create a dynasty.
Yeah.
Harris dynasty.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think for me, it's, I mean, to the father aspect, I'm going to speak to the father and then the future aspect. So, for the father aspect, it's not always necessarily you having your own children. You know, when you're a light and when you're a vessel, you're a father figure to multiple people, kids, adults, you know. So, just making sure that you're always true, making sure you hold yourself accountable, making sure that you are always honest and consistent. I think I never try to look that far down. I try to look, am I right now? What do I need right now in this moment?
Right.
You know, so I feel like no matter if it's right now or 15 years down the line, these are just qualities that you need to have as an individual.
Down.
Yeah,
so by
to
the time
become
you're 40, that's already who you are.
It's already done.
Right.
So just being accountable, being honest, being true, being consistent, and being a man of my word. Because a lot of people don't have integrity.
Right.
And I want to be a man of integrity. Not want, but at my daily battle, not daily battle, but my daily mission is to be somebody of integrity, to be honest, you know what I'm saying, and to be a light, and to realize, like, I am going to have a family, I'm going to have a wife, children.
Trying to picture daddy's up.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, and that's going to be cold.
Look, I can imagine, like, I feel like Zoe be the type of dude, like definitely a soccer dad, but he going to be the one that's going to be more excited than the actual team. Like, nah, come on, now I'm better yet. Yeah, so I need y'all to say this before y'all go out there and do this, manifest it, and then go. I can like definitely picture you being a soccer dad, like hopping out the minivan, is excited to hop out the minivan.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, with the bag like on the side. Okay.
Yeah. She got it.
Ooh, yeah. I can see it because I know I can see it.
Yeah, man. That, you know, just those qualities, man. Again, I didn't grow up with a dad, but that's not my excuse. Just growing up with a dad is no reason for me to say that's not my inspiration. That's not my motivation. Just because I grew up with a dad, like it happens, bro. He wasn't ready to be a father at the end of the day. I know when I become a dad, you know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get what to do, but also like breaking cycles, man. I want to be able to break cycles in my family, in our race, in our generation. You know what I'm saying? I want to restart a whole another 400 years of positivity. You get me? So that for me, you know,
about to redo this whole 400.
We going 400. New one. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's deep. That's deep.
So,
that's a word.
You know, just becoming before. You know, becoming what I want before it manifests. You know, and that starts in your mind. You know, always aligning myself. The second one was future, right?
Yeah, like as far as like, you know, the community. I mean, I think it kind of touched on the community and everything, but even like your dreams, as your dreams manifest and come to, how do you continue to dream and go for that next?
I never really look at the next, bro. Like I'm not like, dang, okay, what's next? I think again, like I want to also just make sure I'm aligned. My biggest dream, bro, honestly, is to be at peace, to be happy, to be aligned with God, and to walk in truth. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's important to me, because I think once you have that in line, everything else just falls in place. I don't want what I want for my life no more. I want what God wants for me. So even if I tell you, 15 years from now, I'm going to be a mogul, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to have this business. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? God might be like, you know what, hold up, I might need you to run for president. I might need you to do that. So I might be lying to you right now. Now, if I speak into existence, this is what I want to become, cool, but I really and truly just want to be happy. I want to be a light. I want to be at peace, you know, travel, because that's what I can control. Just inspire the masses, bro. That's it, bro.
You said a couple of things I was father, and I kind of have a similar thing with my dad. Not being around, stuff like that. And at what point did you stop using that as an excuse? Because I know for a time, a lot of people. I mean, so I openly say I got daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? They're better now, but at what point did you say, like, yo, this is the cutoff. I can no longer use this as an excuse?
I realized where God was taking me, and then I also realized the power in communication. You know what I'm saying? I realized, like, dang, why am I so mad? You know what I'm saying? It happened years ago. Why? I want to know why, and I'm curious. So I was like, I want to have a relationship with my dad. What changed everything was having a conversation with my father. Like, yo, my first words was, I hate you. You know what I'm saying? But then it was like, it wasn't, I hate you out of love. It was like, I hate you, but I hate you, but why weren't you there? You know what I'm saying? And then he told me. I learned about my father. I learned about our generation. I learned about what happened before us. I learned that my father was the right-hand man to Freeway Rick Ross. So, like, he was in a drug gang. He was a drug trafficker. He had me young, you know what I'm saying, making all this money in the streets, and then he went to jail. My father became institutionalized. He never knew how to be a man. He was a boy that didn't become a man but became a male. And that's the big difference. So many of us young men, black men, we grow up and don't become men. We become male. We're underdeveloped. And he wasn't ready to be a man, take care of man responsibilities. And I think just me realizing, like, dang, like, okay, this is the real situation. Like, this is his truth. This is my truth. Now that we have an understanding, how can we move forward? And now we can move forward. Like, me and my dad, we just talked last night. My best friend, you know what I'm saying? One of my, like, for real, you know what I'm saying? And of course, I still have questions because I want to know, but I feel like I'm helping him as he helps me, man. I feel like he was just a vehicle for God to use to get me on earth. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it from that perspective, you got to look at it from a God perspective. Like, we all make mistakes. We all fall short. Like, I can't cast no stones at him because I'm still making mistakes. I'm still trying to figure it out. And for me, I've always been the one to learn from mistakes. I'm in the position that I'm in now as a human being because, like, even growing up in Compton, like, I did everything the homies didn't. They was out thugging, doing their thing. I was in the house reading. They was in the streets doing their thing. I went to go play basketball. They made a bad decision. I made a good decision. Or I had the homie bridge the gap and tell me, you got a brighter future than us. You're not doing this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I kind of went off a little bit, but just wanted to get understanding, bro. And I think, yeah. I mean, I keep going, but I kind of lost my train.
That's powerful. I'm listening to you, and that's why I just had to, I always say, listening is a powerful thing because, I think kind of spoke to, listen to somebody, rather than speaking, you learn something new. And I'm listening, to what you're saying, and I'm also, looking at your shirt. And, for those who can't see, it says, be who you needed when you were younger. And I think that's a powerful, like, so it just to kind of end off on, who was somebody that you all needed growing up, and now that you're older, what position or role did that person play? Like, was you needing them validated, or was that just something that as a child? Like, what did that look like? Who was that you needed when you were younger?
You got it. Be right back. Keep going. I'll be right back. You got it, Kyle. Keep going. I'll be right back.
Who I needed, dang, this is gonna be good. I needed my parents, and I say that to say, yeah, they can provide for you all day, but like, what are you like? I need that love and affection, but then again, I can't blame them for that because it's like, hey, you out here trying to provide for us, so it's like all the wars they went to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, it was a lot of stress, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, like, where's my mom, where's my dad at? You know what I'm saying?
That's a scary time.
What, bro? Like, my mom almost lost her life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's real. So it's like, you got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I have friends who I went to high school with, like their parents were in the service. I went to high school with a girl. She lost her father. Like there was a roadside bomb. They were in the tank, and when the bomb went off, the tank flipped over into a river. So it was upside down, so they couldn't get out, so they just drowned. And, in my high school, like when tragic things happen, they let the school know over the morning announcement, so that way when you saw that person, you can express your condolences or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I don't know. I like that.
It's crazy, but I would say just.
Dang, that's...
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I always had that fear, like, dang, what if they come knock at the door with a flag, like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? They didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I needed my parents just for that affirmation, like, hey, son, like, you can do what you want to do. You can be who you want to be, as opposed to me trying to figure it out. And what that created was insecurities, low self-esteem. So, and I'm still navigating that to this day. You know what I'm saying? So I would say I needed my parents. That's what, you know what I'm saying, in that regard, as far as like just that guidance, and not guidance, but just pouring into me like more emotionally than they did.
I don't think I necessarily needed a person to say. I've always been like, I don't know, pretty independent in regard. I would say I needed a feeling. I needed nurture. I think that's the same thing, like what God was saying, just with the parents. Like, I needed to be nurtured, you know what I'm saying? Like, in regards to, like, I never felt the love from a woman, technically. My mom loved me. My mom worked like two jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
And my sister, she was my mom. I was raised by some strong women. I'm gonna just say it like that.
Like a whole gang of just
just some strong women. But I think they lacked. And I've had this conversation with my mom, like, you never really hugged me, like, well, she hugged me, but like, it was like, how can I explain it?
Your mom was more like nature than nurture. Like my mom is like,
she was going through her own stuff, so she didn't really know how to like.
My mom's not the hug, kiss, like even to the day I'm like, Mom, hug me. She's like, "Well, get out of here."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she worked 2-3 jobs all the time, and
she was tired.
All the time. Yeah, like all that mushy gushy.
Yeah.
Like,
but she loved me though. She would show me that I knew my mom loved me.
Yeah.
But she she was going through her own stuff,
Yeah.
And Tasha, she probably when I needed love, she was probably just tired from work.
Yeah.
I took offense to that, but when I was a kid, I didn't understand, but now I get it. And I think for me, it's just nurturing. Like, we need validation as children, because if we don't get that as a youth, we look for that as adults. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, I got molested when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And that made not only that experience like kind of like had me like weird, but just never getting nurtured. Like never getting the nurture and then being molested was two things that like threw me off. You know what I'm saying? And then I think, how can I say this? I'm trying to correlate both of them. So that happened, and I was afraid to be intimate, with women. I was not like by no chance was I like.
I remember.
I was a virgin.
Yeah, I remember.
But I wasn't a virgin just because of spiritual reason. I was a virgin because I was afraid of being intimate with her.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I just didn't know how that would be.
And that's crazy because we've been friends for a while.
Yeah,
and we've had a number of conversations about
right,
me and Jared.
Right.
and even now, like me feeling closely, I can say I've never known that.
Yeah, and then, I mean, it's not something I'm gonna be like, yeah, I was.
Yeah, no.
But now it's like it's a root of a problem. I know the root of the issue of me wanting nurturing as an adult stemmed from my experiences as a child. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, like I became, wouldn't say, yeah.
No,
you get me?
Yeah, all right. I feel you. So,
so yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I needed a person. I needed like validation. I needed to know, like, needed to be reminded, like, you're good enough. You're capable.
You're right.
I needed to hear that, like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just something we as people need. You know what I'm saying? We as black people and young black men don't validate each other. Where I'm from, first words ain't, "What's up, King?" It's, "Where you from?" Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or they looking at you funny, so you always on defense.
Yeah.
A like we need to validate each other. We need to nurture each other. Even now, like it goes to supporting your real friends and supporting people and showing love because we need it. Like we need it as a people. Again, you didn't know I went through that. We're all going through stuff we don't necessarily know, we're going through or have been through. So I think for me, man, it's just that. Dang, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I must love y'all, bro.
Yeah, right.
Wow. So, and we got to wrap up off this. Now, I'm just kind of like mesmerized in the conversation because, and like I said before y'all walked up, you was asking me what we're gonna talk about. I was like, we're gonna talk about y'all. You know what I'm saying? We literally just gonna talk about y'all. Get a chance for y'all to tell our story. And if you look at, we all either go to Morehouse or graduate from Morehouse. You talking about Dr. King's ideology of creating a beloved community.
Oh yeah.
The basis of that is empathy. The basis of that is to understand somebody else. Whether you disagree, agree, like them or don't like them, but you can't have love without empathy.
Right.
You can't have that that love for somebody without having that commonality and getting to know their story and who they are. And so, man, I definitely appreciate y'all sitting right here and just sharing your story and breaking down some of the barriers, because as Black men, we do have issues with vulnerability. We do have issues with sitting down like this, talk about stuff that's, other than, money, women or other things that may entertain us, or music, whatever it is, and talking about, or even analyzing ourselves, doing a self-analysis, talk about the root of some of our problems, because it isn't always comfortable. It isn't always great. It isn't always that welcoming conversation. How do you kick off a conversation like that to open up these doors for real healing and understanding, so I can love my brother a little bit better. I can love my friend the way, you should be able to love somebody that you feel like you're close to, and not in a weird way, but in a way that, like, I need love, you need love, he need love, we all need love, and how we can find a way to love each other better. So I definitely appreciate y'all.
We gotta, here's the thing too, we ain't gotta, say weird way, because, you know what I'm saying, it's love, bro. It's love. Like, I sent a text to my homie. I said, I love you, just like that. I said it. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how, it's a whole nother conversation, but it's crazy how the way he said I love you is like him trying to say I know that he love me, but it's just like the way he sent it in the text. Like, I'm like, bro, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that. I always gotta be hyper masculine. Like, I love y'all. Like, I love y'all. You know what I'm talking about? But we just gotta be able to express that and understand that it's just real, genuine love. You know what I'm talking about? So you don't have to feed into that hyper masculine idea. You know what I'm saying? Because that's us as Black people. You know what I'm saying? That's Black men. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, that's my homie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I get it though.
So I definitely appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the time y'all take, out y'all busy schedules to come and ride with me, man. I appreciate y'all doing the podcast and sharing a lot of y'all stories, and yeah, man, just being good friends, not just to me, but to each other. And I love the fact that y'all had a chance to do this. I love the fact we got a chance to capture, y'all stories. So in 15, 20 years, I know we're still gonna be friends. But I can say, Zoe said he gonna do this now the third, and I can say, Lil Kai, you know what I'm saying? Big Kai, you need to be a little bit more nice, responsible. You say you mean loving and nurturing. That means you ground him. You get a chance to don't ground Lil Kai for doing X, Y, and Z. You say you're gonna be cool, you're gonna be nice. You know what I'm saying? So, which is kind of funny because I can picture both of you guys as being great fathers, great dads, great entertainers. Great men in the community. So, I'm glad we had a chance to get y'all on the podcast early on, man. Y'all busy schedules, and I just want to say, but. I love you guys, man.
Love you too, bro. I love you. I love you, man. I love you, bro.
LOV. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, sir.
All right, so this concludes, the second edition of the podcast, man. Thank you once again for coming out.
All right, so appreciate you.